Hello, everyone, and welcome to HCTV Sports as we get set for a volleyball matchup here between the Mahtomedi Zephyrs and the Hastings Raiders here from Hastings High School. I'm your play-by-play Owen Ely here with our broadcast partner for the night, Theo Tollefson. Theo, how's it going, buddy?
It's going well. How are you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm doing wonderful. There's nothing better than covering high school sports, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Glad to be here doing that with you tonight.
Absolutely, and, you know, we have a great one for you here tonight between two teams looking to climb a little bit higher here in the Metro East Conference. Of course, I think we were here last Tuesday for senior night, and that was quite a showing by the Raiders, although unfortunately they were on the losing side of that one.
Yes. And that's the thing. Obviously, the season is starting a lot later for all volleyball players, so like a lot of fall sports across the country right now due to COVID-19. And obviously that could play into effect on how some of the records have looked for a couple of these teams.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you know, you never know with the preparation between these two teams, as it looks like at some point we'll get set here for the national anthem. But, yeah, you never really know. I mean, you know, with certain sports like football, you know, it's been impressive to see what, you know, a team like Hastings has done, you know, considering the circumstances. But with volleyball, I mean, you know, it's tough not knowing if you're going to have a season or if you're going to have a season. But with that, we'll take a short break here for the national anthem. As we're just minutes away here from the start of this one. Looks like we'll get the starting lineups here for both teams. Of course, the Raiders played yesterday. They lost 3-0 to North St. Paul. Struggled early on in the first set and really turned it on in the second and third. And hopefully the listeners at home can pick up the starting lineups here. It's a very senior-laden lineup here for the Raiders. Macy Frandrup, one of the younger players on the Raiders team, just a sophomore, had a pretty good showing versus South St. Paul. And then senior night versus, I believe, Henry Sibley. So both teams taking the court here. Kind of feels like a golf tournament atmosphere here.
Yeah, with the absence of many people that you would usually expect at one of these games, but obviously attendance is low due to COVID.
So starting off serving here in the first set is Mahtomedi. And an early point here for the Zephyrs.
Just like that.
Cameron Peterson, the sophomore, on the serve once again. And the exact same result on that one. Maybe some miscommunication there from the Raiders.
See if they can try to rebound from that right here.
Well, we'll see if third time's the charm here for Hastings. That one bounces up off the top of the net.
We'll keep it going for the time being.
Back into the backcourt, and a growing early lead here for the visiting team.
Looks like we've got a couple seconds to catch their breath after those 3 quick scores.
Peterson's serve, propped up. It's pushed over, now here in the front court. Over on the far side, a cross-court attack. Smacked up by Dollar. Zephyrs left to get it over on this one. Now Dollar props it up again. Over to the front court. And that one's going to get sailed over by Lily Nutten.
Just a little too much power on that one to really keep it in bounds for the first point for the Raiders tonight. But we'll see if they can rebound again after.
And Peterson having to shag down the balls. Unfortunately, this is not like a soccer game where you have a crew of ball boys and girls.
Nope.
Another Peterson serve. That one might have been deflected there in the front court by Mahtomedi. And that one's going to sail for the first point of the night here for the Raiders.
Yeah, now it looks like we got a 4-1 on those sets.
So the senior Courtney Dollar on the first serve of the night here for the Raiders. Almost a cross-court attack. Now here on the far side. Two-hand push. Sent up by Peterson.
Almost just got in there.
Good long volley there is ended in another point here for Mahtomedi off the fingertips there of Dollar. We'll have Elizabeth Mosley on the serve. A couple of quick smacks, and that one back over on the Zephyrs side of the court.
Yeah,
Denied at the line, and a great defensive stand there by Abby Axel.
And that definitely gave the Raiders some momentum that they needed to catch up on after that 3-0 start by the Zephyrs.
And that one's going to get sailed a little bit to the outside there off the serve from Chantel Lease.
Yep, just looks like it went a little too far to the left there to keep it in bounds for another point for the Raiders here.
And I believe on senior night we might have seen maybe 2 or 3 aces from Hastings.
Really?
So certainly capable of getting no return.
For sure.
Rebound point here for Hastings, 6-3 game.
Yeah, Peterson fell a little short on that one for Mahtomedi.
The first set statistically not the best set for Hastings. Outscored the most in this set this season, although it is a very young season.
And they can still recover from that here tonight and probably bring their points up.
2 quick hits, and that one sent back and over to the far side off of Cameron Peterson. Mahtomedi's coach was barking out some orders, and
it looks like it gave them what they needed to just get another set there.
So Hastings closing in on the lead here, now down just by 1 point. And a low serve is going to go right into the net there from Megan Meyer.
Now it's 6-5, Mahtomedi over Hastings. Peterson's coming out of the game now, looks like, for Mahtomedi, and we got number 3, Isabel McGraw coming in.
And so we'll get the serve here from McGraw. Lease. Up to Meyer, pushed over. Kept alive here by Mahtomedi, slapped back, and bit of an awkward bounce there off of the collarbone of Chantel Lease, and that's another point here for Mahtomedi.
Dollar did make a nice attempt to try to save it, but again, it was just an awkward shot, like you said, off the collarbone, and hard one to recover from.
A long McGraw serve. Dollar was there waiting. It's going to be touched there by Macy Frandrup and bouncing off into the netting. Diving nice save there from Lease. Pushed up by McGraw, and that one sailed well over.
There. Yeah, Emily Short there was the one who hit it well out of the bounds, so a little too much power on that hit, but we'll see what happens here in this next play.
So Dollar subbing out here for Lily Nutton. Serve lands in the backcourt. That one initially denied at the net. Pushed over and sent up by Lease. And the point going there to Hastings off of Macy Frandrup.
Is now 9-7. Mahtomedi still leading over the Raiders.
Hard serve, and that one's going to sail over the end line. So we'll get the first serve of the night here for Jenna Elbers. And that one, not enough height on it.
Yep.
That's the thing I love about volleyball. The pace of the game so far has been tremendous.
Absolutely.
Serve there from Hastings. High flying. Smacked at the line, and just a point here for Mahtomedi.
Yeah, that one was just on that edge of the corner where you really don't know if that's going to land in or out of bounds, and that was a hard one to judge for the Raiders there.
Yeah, and typically, even tonight, that's gone in the favor of Hastings.
Absolutely.
So a 3-point lead here for the Zephyrs. Bit of an odd angle there for Dollar. Tipped with one hand and
hits the official there. Right in the end. Going to remain a Zephyrs ball for this serve.
Emily Short, the junior, on the serve. Pretty high arc on that one. Initially touched by Dollar, slapped at the line. Pushed up by Brueggemann. Dollar was waiting, a little bit shorter than her teammates, so couldn't get there in time. Now a diving save there by McGraw.
Definitely.
And that one off into the nettings. A well-earned point here for the Raiders.
Absolutely.
We'll have two subs coming in here for the Raiders. Looks like it's going to be Abby Axel and Kay Beebe.
It looks like Beebe's going to get the serve to start on this one.
Hard serve, lands in the backcourt, pushed up by McGraw. And another denial near the center line there by the Raiders.
Yes, and it looks like they're going to be closing the lead now. It's 12-10 Mahtomedi over the Raiders. They're keeping it in that 2 to 3 point range right now.
Another serve here for Hastings, propped up for McGraw. Denied, but it just lands on the wrong side for the Raiders.
Axel made a good attempt there, but right as she was trying to push it over the net, instead just folds right into it, and that gave the Zephyrs another point there.
And Hastings doing a good job so far, and you know that's really been their downfall in the early parts of the season, is allowing in the middle of sets for their opponents to go on a big run. As we'll get another point here for Mahtomedi. I believe in each of the 3 sets against Simley, there was a 7 to 8 point run in the middle of each of those sets.
Yeah, hopefully the Raiders do not repeat that, bad stroke of luck here tonight, but it looks like we're going there already. It's now 15-10 Zephyrs over the Raiders.
Yeah, you hope they can kind of stop the bleeding here and get back on track. They've always responded well off of timeouts. That one smacked, and once again on the wrong side of the net, so
A nice attempt by Nutton there. Lily Nutton, the junior for Hastings, but again, hitting the net.
I believe a 4-point run going on here for Mahtomedi. Now
correct.
in the front court, pushed over. Diving save by McGraw. Now Dollar. We'll have to push it over here. One-handed slap. Propped up by Peterson. A hard hit there from Frandrup. Frandrup sends it over. Pushed up by Mosley. Tremendous volley here. Cross-court attack. Sent back to Frandrup. And that one sails off into the Mahtomedi bench there from KBB.
Good run there by both teams. You know, everyone was just landing in the right spots for the most part. And, you know, just keeping the ball in the air, trying to hit them where they ain't, but everyone just landed right where they need to, and that went out of bounds there. Just a little too much to the right for Hastings.
So a 17-10 point lead here in set number 1. Like I mentioned a minute ago, Hastings, at least in this 2020 campaign, has always responded very well off of timeouts, so it'll be interesting to see what adjustments they look to make here.
Yeah, they got the minute to do that, and now it is 17-10 Zephyrs over the Raiders. So maybe this minute, you know, to get that water break, regroup with your teammates, figure out what the game strategy needs to be to, you know, close the gap on that lead is exactly what the Raiders need.
That is very well put. Of course, now is as good of a time to mention that both of these teams enter this matchup here in the Metro East Conference with a 1-2 record. Tough to decipher a whole lot from the standings here early on, but obviously some patterns here.
Yeah, and the only team that is really behind everyone right now is South St. Paul High School, with their volleyball being 0-3 on the season so far.
Yeah, tough year to be the Packers. And we'll get an ace there from Cameron Peterson.
Peterson is tied for second on the team in terms of serves this year, along with Emily Short. Only Elizabeth Mosley has had more so far coming into tonight's game for the Zephyrs.
Oh, you really see the repetition paying off here. Pushed up into the front court from Dollar, denied above the net. A hard slam there from Frandrup, but not enough height, and
we're seeing that a lot from a lot of the players tonight on Hastings so far. They're just getting the ball, they're setting it up, and then as soon as they hit it, it's hitting into the net instead of right over. So maybe they need a little more arch in their hits.
Another serve here from Peterson. Pushed over with one hand by one of the middle blockers. A hard slam kept up, bounces off the rims. That one sailed up high. Frantic play here from the Zephyrs, and finally a point here for the Raiders to stop the bleeding.
Yeah, that was number 11, Emma Berglund, who hit it right into the net for the Zephyrs there. Another junior at Mahtomedi High School.
Dollar's serve. Lands on that far side in the backcourt. Nice shove over there from Emma Berglund. And a great slam there from the Raiders. 2 consecutive points.
Yeah, that was the first in, I think, at least 10 minutes, maybe 15 for the Raiders, and that was definitely a good comeback for them.
Another leaping serve there for Dollar. Tough pass in the backcourt. That one sailed over. Slammed across the court. Peterson with a dig. Up for Dollar. They'll have to send it over here. It's pushed over by Allison Gronquist. And a score there for Peterson as it lands just right in front of the outstretched Courtney Dollar.
Dollar made a nice attempt there to try to save on that slide, but it just was a little too short in time to save a point.
Serve from Mosley. Low trajectory on that one. Slapped over by Abby Axel. Got the assist there from Berglund. Back to Dollar. Sent up by Beebe. Always tough when it's slammed down right in front of the net. Now back over into Mahtomedi territory. And that lands just to the left there of Macy Frandrup.
It looked like Frandrup was expecting it to land a little closer to where she was standing, but just short on that play. It is now 21-12 Zephyrs over the Raiders.
So a pretty tall task here for the Raiders to come back in set number 1. Just 4 points separate Mahtomedi from winning the first set. Well, we'll get a great effort here from the Raiders and another point.
Closing the gap again. It looks like we got another substitute coming in here on for the Raiders.
Yeah, Gronquist will check out. We'll have Chantel Lease in for the serve. Get up by the middle blocker. And that one sailed over.
A little too much power there from number 5, Cameron Peterson.
So still 4 points needed here for a win in set number 1. Raiders 7 points behind. And another ace here for the Raiders in set number 1. That one just on the line.
Yeah, that was looking like it was about to hit the line. It would have been anyone's guess. But Raiders fortunately getting the point in on that one.
And that's always the toughest thing for the backcourt. Do I hit it or do I not hit it? Is it going to land just in or just out?
Exactly. And another one.
Wow, a great response there from Veronica Radke. That's 3 consecutive points in a row. And looks like we'll get a timeout here called by Mahtomedi as Hastings is closing the gap.
Yeah, and it looks like this is the momentum they needed, and now it is only a 5-point gap, and that might be what they need, and to at least bring it in within 20 before this first set for the game is over.
So a 60-second timeout here on the court from head coach for the Zephyrs, Angela Hell. Great adjustment as we'll take a look at the Metro East standings here. Of course, Hastings is actually 1 and 2. Same with Mahtomedi. Like Theo mentioned, South St. Paul there at the bottom of the conference.
Holding in the stellar place. It looks like Simley's the only team that still remains undefeated on the season.
Yeah, and they really put it on Hastings for senior night. That's a very talented volleyball team. Nearly another ace on that one, but a quick point here for the Raiders nonetheless.
Yeah, Jenna Elbers there, number 9 for Mahtomedi, was trying to make a save, but the direction of where she hit it just went to the opposite side of where it needed to go for the Zephyrs.
So don't look now, but it's 21-17, only 4 points behind now here for Hastings. And that one fielded there by Mosley. One-hand hit there from Dollar and just a bit of an awkward angle, and we'll get a point here for Mahtomedi.
Yeah, unfortunately that was going to a place where no one could reach it for the Raiders, and so that will give Mahtomedi 1 more point closer to ending this first set.
We get the first serve of the night here from Erin Noel. Pushed up by Dollar and just pushed a little too far
Noel
off into the netting.
Her 20th serve of the season there. Sorry to interrupt you there.
No, you're good. So the timeout really working here for Mahtomedi. That one, tough one to field. Kept in play.
Yeah, those past couple balls, Owen, you were wondering if they're going to get up in the rafters or not.
And that one denied by the antenna, so the point going here to Hastings. That was really a great defensive play there by Hastings. That one was looking to get sent over just like the one a couple of plays ago off a Dollar.
And it looked like Emma Berglund was there to try to get it back over from Mahtomedi, but again, like you had to hit the wire. Hastings get another point. Now it's 23-18.
Look at the serve here from Meyer. Noel to Peterson. Quick response there from Frandrup, and that one lands in no man's land. It's getting real interesting here as we look to close out the first set.
Absolutely, and it's looking a lot more realistic for Hastings to at least get 20 points in this first set.
Another serve here for Hastings. Peterson over to a teammate. And that one just sailed a little too far. Too much mustard there from Mahtomedi.
Absolutely, Owen, and that was just an unfortunate placing of that hit for the Raiders, and it went further back into their territory than they would have liked.
So now we're on the game point here. Just one more win will win the set here for Mahtomedi. Serve here from McGraw. Dollar dives, pushes it up. That one was heading towards the scoring table. Now Brugman slammed over, kept up there by Chantel Lease. Frandrup gets that one over, back to Noel. Into the front court, slammed. About to send it over here.
Ooh,
pushed
almost
over.
had a run in there for the Raiders.
Great teamwork here from Hastings, and that one, maybe just a miscommunication in the front court there for Mahtomedi, 24-20.
Yeah, it looked like that, but we also had a run in there between, it looks like, Lease and McClintock for the Raiders.
And the third ace here in the first set for Hastings.
It's only a 3-point gap, but again, the next point the Zephyrs get, they have this first set, which has been an entertaining one at least.
Now, I mentioned the Raiders were good at aces, but I didn't know they were this good. We'll get another serve here from Veronica Radke. Fielded awkwardly there by Noel, bouncing into the netting. And
how about that?
24-22 here. Still a little bit of a tall task. It's, you know, you need 3 points, and they only need 1, but they're going to get another one here.
Yeah.
Wow, could they complete the comeback? I believe they were down 8 points at one point in the set.
They were. It was 19-10, actually, or 11, one of those two. And that really looked grim for the Raiders. But now, only 1 point separating these two teams for the set.
Wow, this is massive, too, because, like I mentioned a little bit in the pregame, the first set is typically the worst set for Hastings when you look statistically at their cumulative points. They actually get better in the second and third sets, and they actually win the fourth and fifth sets statistically.
Absolutely, and now we're seeing that after 3 later scheduled games than they would have liked in this season, they're finally getting their momentum together for the fourth one on here and making that count in the first set, where you really want to have that leg up. It's always good to win the first set in a game.
Oh, absolutely. I think it's almost immeasurable, the mental strain that puts on a team that's down. We get another serve here from Hastings. That one's going to be kept in bounds there by McGraw, smacked back over.
Almost in the rafters there from Mahtomedi.
Frandrup with a hard dig there. That one gets by. Wow. A nice save there in the backcourt, kept up. Radke pushes it over, and one bounces off the netting and out of bounds, and that's going to be a victory for Mahtomedi here in the first set, 25-23.
I mean, both teams should be coming off this first set feeling pretty good about themselves. I mean, it was very entertaining to say the least, though, and you know, both teams put some effort, and it looked like Mahtomedi was going to run away with it early on, but now, with how that score ended, 25-23, I feel like we're going to have a lot closer sets as the game continues here.
Absolutely, a lot to like here for the Raiders, even though they didn't win the first set. So with that, we'll send it to a break. This is Volleyball here on HCTV Sports. All right, everybody, welcome back to HCTV Sports here as we get set for the continuation of this one, a volleyball matchup here between the Hastings Raiders and the Mahtomedi Zephyrs. After set number 1, it was a 1-0 lead here for the visiting team, a 25-23 victory in the first set. I'm Owen Ely here with my broadcast partner for the night, Theo Tollefson. Theo, what can we expect here in the second set?
I think both teams are definitely going to be having strong momentum coming into this second set because, as we saw, the gap was closed by the Raiders as they closed to a 25-23 final score in that first one. So I think both teams have good energy going for them right now, and they're going to try to keep up that momentum as we enter the second set here tonight.
All right, so both teams here on the court will get the first serve of the second set here from KBB of Hastings. High arc on that one, propped up there by Peterson. And that one lands just a couple of inches in front of that end line. First point of the second set going here to Mahtomedi.
Yeah, Peterson getting in right where they ain't. Just like in baseball, you want to hit that ball right where they ain't. And it looks like Peterson was able to do that in this first point.
So the first serve of the second set here from Mahtomedi is going to be by the senior Elizabeth Mosley.
And that point going to Mahtomedi for some reason. Unclear why right now. Were you able to catch why?
No. I wish I knew a little more about the volleyball rules as to what the linesmen were looking for on that one.
Yeah. Unfortunate ruling there for the Raiders. Hopefully we'll see a comeback for them to happen. But it looks like Mahtomedi is going to get a third point there.
Bounces off the fingertips there of KBB on the near side.
Hastings coach and Corin Chen, talking to one of her players.
Another serve here from Mosley. Real low trajectory. Noel to Peterson. And miscommunication there as that one falls in between a slew of Zephyrs. First point of the second set here for Hastings.
Yeah, definitely miscommunication that really just set apart for Peterson and her teammate there. I believe that was Hansen, number 4.
Dollar's serve bounces and grazes off the top of the net.
Barely just getting in there.
Gronquist smacks it over. It's kept just in bounds there by Noel, and some more miscommunication there in the front court of Mahtomedi.
Yeah, it looks like Hansen had that one from Mahtomedi right there, but it was just weakly hit off her forearms trying to go over into the Raiders and goes under the net, not over.
Another serve there from Dollar, sent deep into that back court. Cross-court attack. Dollar sets it up for her teammate. Sent over by Radke, and that one sails over the end line.
Yeah, good reading there by Noel from Mahtomedi to just let it land and not worry about it, because if you keep it going in there, eventually it could have ended up as a Raiders point.
Noel's serve, a lot of power on it, pushed up by Frandrup. Sent back over to Noel. Peterson, cross-court attack, and that one
going to the Raiders, it looks like, just over the line.
Yeah, just over that line, and I believe the ruling is if it touches any part of the line that it's a point.
Mm-hmm.
But that one, just not a lot of question on that one.
It was hard to see from the angle where we're sitting if that was in or out, but
we need that tennis tracker they have where it tells you on the little screen. Serve here from Chantel Lease. Cross court, Noel. Back to Dollar. BB across the court, denied. Save there by Dollar. Tipped up, going backwards here for Mahtomedi. Denied and pushed back there real quick by Frandrup. BB has to send it over there. A lot of quick volleys back and forth here. BB to the back court. Over for Lease. Now Noel to Peterson. And it lands in between Courtney Dollar and Kay Beebe, a point there for the Zephyrs.
Yeah, a little miscommunication between Dollar and Beebe there, but it was a good back and forth for both teams. And, already the score for this set is a lot closer than how the first one started out.
Oh, that's very true. But there's nothing worse than having a hard-fought point and still losing it.
Absolutely.
Return there from Dollar to the near side. Diving save there from Cameron Peterson. And that one,
I think it went out. And we'll see here in just a second.
I believe they gave it there to Hastings.
Yes, they did. 5-4 Mahtomedi over the Raiders.
Although that one was interesting. I wish we were a little closer because it might have touched off that corner, but tough judgment call.
Absolutely.
Serve there from Meyer to the front court, just over the outstretched hands of some of those middle blockers. And a point here for Hastings, all knotted up here at 5 apiece. Megan Meyer with the serve. McGraw, and just a poor angle there taken by Abby Brueggemann.
Yeah, Brueggemann just hitting it right into the net, not really lining it up well enough to make it over and try to get a point for the Zephyrs.
And for the first time tonight, the Raiders are leading, at least in an individual set. Obviously, Mahtomedi won the first set. And that one just over the end line, a great non-defensive play there by Noel. You talk about knowing whether or not to touch it or not. Good move there from Aaron.
Yeah, Noel's been reading the ball well in terms of just like if it's going to be landing in bounds or not for Mahtomedi tonight.
Elber's serve. Frandrup has to push it over there, and
that was a nice save there by Emily Short from Mahtomedi.
So once again, we're all knotted up here. Or excuse me, the lead taken by Mahtomedi, 7-6.
Still a lot closer than this first set was in terms of points by both teams.
Frandrup, with one hand, bashes it over. Pushed. Responded back there by Dollar. Cross court and sailed over there past the out of bounds line.
Yeah, it looked like Macy Frandrup was the one who hit that ball right over to the left side, a little too left for the Raiders.
And Jenna Elbers has to run a marathon to go grab the ball.
Yeah, it's practically half court when you line it all up.
Elbers with the serve. A bump there from Dollar to the front court. Kind of a fake there.
Oh, yeah.
Slapped
Good
back.
save there. That was by Frandrup for the Raiders, but it eventually ends up being a Zephyrs point.
They denied it there the first time at the net, and that one bounces out of bounds. Elbers with the serve. Dollar up into the front court. And that one denied there by Mahtomedi. That was Emily Short.
Yeah, it looked like Abby Bergman was also there to help out, and we're going to have a timeout for the Raiders on this one.
So, familiar spot here for Hastings being down early on in the set, but if we've learned anything from the first set tonight and the first 3 sets for senior night, I mean, they typically respond very well post timeouts.
Yeah, and this one, compared to the point gap in the first set, is a lot smaller. It is only 10-6 Zephyrs.
And of course, every set is important, but certainly the second one is very important. You'd hate to go down 2-0 because then you're really going to have to run the gamut to win this one.
Absolutely.
About 10 seconds remaining here on these 60-second timeouts.
Both teams back on the court.
Pretty good showing here tonight from family and friends, at least as good as it can be with, I assume there's restrictions on the number of people in this arena.
Yeah, and absolutely.
We got another point here from Mahtomedi.
Speaking about attendance, and compared to a soccer or football game, you obviously cannot have as many people attending when it's an indoor event versus outdoor.
And so I'm being told it's 2 per kid are allowed to be here, which I think is similar with football and or soccer.
Yeah, statewide.
Although I don't know, I've been to some Metro East football games, and I'm not too sure about the numbers. I don't know, can't count too well, but we get a serve here from Hastings. Noel keeps it alive, pushed over a couple of Raiders. We'll get an early whistle, and the point going here to Hastings.
Yeah, didn't speak on attendance. When I'm doing my DoorDashes over in Hudson on weeknights, I've been seeing families line up outside the fences of the high school and put in their lawn chairs to watch those games.
Another point here from Mahtomedi. That's funny. We saw that at certainly at historic McNamara Stadium, where because the stadium is basically in a sinkhole. I mean, you could watch from basically the entire far sidelines from the main street.
Yeah, just don't want to be sitting on the highway there.
No, certainly not. Hastings has to get it over there, and that one.
And it looks like it's going to go to the Raiders.
Yeah, just bounced off the hand of McGraw. I don't think she meant to touch it.
No. And that was a good setup there by Frandrup to make sure that it was a misread by McGraw.
So Hastings responding fairly well following the timeout. We'll see if they can turn it on here midway through the second set. Serve from Frandrup. Posted up from McGraw. And too much mustard on that one. Another point here for Hastings.
Yeah, definitely points are staying a lot closer here in the second set than it was in the first for both the Zephyrs and Raiders. It's only 12-10 now. The Zephyrs still leading.
Left-handed serve there for Frandrup. Noel up to McGraw, to the back court here of the Raiders, now to the front court. Tapped over. Set up from McGraw, and denied just over the top of the net there from Lily Nutton.
Yeah, it looks like Nutton just got her fingertips on it and right into the front side of the court for the Zephyrs. Only 1 point lead now for them.
I think we call that in the business finesse.
Indeed it is.
Tough serve to handle there for Elizabeth Mosley. Out of the back court, set up there for Megan Meyer. And the point's going to go here to Mahtomedi.
It looks like, I can't remember which Raiders player was on the side there making that hit, but it looks like she was just out of bounds and it got it into there. So that is why it is going towards Mahtomedi, and is now a 2-point lead for them, 13-11.
So the sophomore Cameron Peterson on the serve. 2-point lead for the Zephyrs. Posted up, Meyer. Two-hand push there from Nutton. Now set up to Berglund. Slapped back and pushed up from Franjip to Meyer. Denied at the line. Still kept up there. Dollar was in the vicinity. Back to Dollar. To Meyer. And they're going to give the point there to Mahtomedi. Kind of wish they announced fouls over the PA system.
Yeah, absolutely. That would be helpful for us.
And that one sailed well over the end line, nearly into the track. Now I believe a 5-point lead.
To the Zephyrs?
Oh, well, I guess it looks like it was a 4. They were quick on that one.
They were. Some of them haven't been as quick on. So I understand your confusion.
And that
Just
one real low off the serve from Peterson.
Not enough fun on that one to get it over the net. Raiders get back into another point on that one.
And I tell you, I've never seen faster scoreboard operators than at River Falls. They would put the touchdown on the board with 20 yards to go on the touchdown run.
Calling it before it even happens. That's a little jinx in there.
Yeah. Serve here from Hastings. That one pushed
nice
over.
there.
Awesome save there by Nutton.
Peterson getting in and out of bounds.
Peterson was calling for the ball. Pushed up by Axel. Slammed over and just past the outstretched Cameron Peterson.
Nice attempt there for Peterson, but again, it was just a little too far for her to really make an effort and save it for the Zephyrs. Is now 15-13.
I mean, if you look at the late set rallies from Hastings, they're sitting really pretty, just being only down by 2 here.
Absolutely.
Peterson slammed over. A low save there from Dollar. One-handed push there from Gronquist, and the point going here to the Hastings Raiders.
Yeah, and like you said, this is where the Raiders are coming back in, and it's the middle points of the set, and they're keeping it a lot closer than they were during the first one, and I think it's just building with the repetition of now being the 4th game. Again, they're playing later in the year than they would like, but this is definitely helping them.
Serve from BB. Now Berglund tipped off of Gronquist, and that one's going to fall in the front court.
It was a good dive attempt there by Courtney Dollar, but just not enough time to really make an attempt and get it over, or at least up in the air for her teammates.
A measly 2-point lead here for Mahtomedi. We'll get a substitution here for Hastings. And the serve by Mosley. That one sent sky high.
Right up into the rafters. It almost looked like it was going to get caught up on one of the lights there.
I mean, if we were at Tropicana, that one would not be coming down.
Well, even the Rays aren't playing their game there tonight in Game 2 of the 2020 World Series.
My eyeballs will thank them for not doing that.
Well, you can thank MLB for that.
And that one sails, so an easy point there for Hastings.
On that one. Still keeping it in with that 2 points. 17-15 Zephyrs over the Raiders.
We'll get the serve from Dollar. Noel to the front court. Tapped over from Elbers. Now BB, and another point here for Hastings.
Perfect hit there by BB to get it right where they weren't. Get that 1-point lead closed.
So we'll see if Hastings can tie it up on this one. Serve from Dollar, low and on the opposite side of the court. Smacked over, a great one-handed dig there from Frandrip to keep it in play, but that one denied right above the net there from Emma Berglund.
Yeah, Berglund just was placed right in the right spot to get it right in on the Raiders side there. Keep that 2-point lead for the Zephyrs.
Serve here from Mahtomedi. BB. The punch over from Abby Axel. Diving save kept up in the air by Radke. sent over on the correct side of the court.
A very nice save there by Radke on that dive attempt.
Dollar up in the air for BB, pushed over. And just misguided where that one was going to land, and a point here for the Raiders off of the defensive mistake there from Shimnowski.
I think the only large lead the Zephyrs have had was like 4 points this set.
Yeah, this one has been really competitive.
It's been extremely close, and like I said, I think that momentum of how close it was at the end of the first set is carried over in this one for both teams.
And that's something you love to see, even if Hastings isn't winning every single point, as we'll get another point here for Hastings, tie game, is that every point is earned. This is very good volleyball we're watching.
Absolutely. And both teams should at least be proud of all the effort that each player is putting in to keep these games close. And it's too early to say who's going to come home with the victory, but they're both putting strong effort in tonight.
We had the serve there from Hastings, pushed over, Dollar saves it, BB slams it over. And the Raiders have taken a lead here in the second set for the second time.
Yeah, Mosley there was just trying to make sure it wasn't landing on the ground, but by her attempt of just trying to get it up in the air, boom, hits it under the net.
Low serve, saved there by Elbers, pushed over.
Oh, wow.
A nice save there, and it's kept in play. Wow, what a great backcourt play from the Raiders. And they tried to deny it above the top of the center line and just lands on the wrong side.
Yeah, it looks like that was Chanel Lease that made that really nice save there for the Raiders. And now it is a tied game again. But again, that is good defense you want to be seen in a game like that is this close.
That is elite defense from Lease and Dollar. Two hits to keep it in. We get the serve here from Mahtomedi, posted up. Ooh. Slammed, and lands on the right side this time here from Frandrup.
Looks like we're going to have a sub coming in for the Raiders. That is number 16, Megan Meyer, who will be having the serve on this one, Owen.
So Hastings just 5 points away here from getting their first victory in a set here tonight. Pushed over and just past the left arm there of Courtney Dollar.
Yeah, Mahtomedi is definitely going to make him work for that win in this set. They are not giving up any momentum.
And if you're Hastings, knowing how well you respond off of a timeout, do you consider taking a timeout here with the final stretch?
If I were them, I would absolutely do it, because, again, it's a tied game. Someone's going to get a 1 point lead after this play here, and it looks like it would be the Raiders. And you want to take that timeout, catch your breath, and then maybe you can just make sure the gap gets closed and walk away with the win in the set. But it looks like we're not going to get that right now.
Dollar checking out, Lily Nutton checking in. We'll get the serve here from Veronica Radke. 1 point lead here for the Raiders. Low serve, kept up. Nice save there from McGraw. That one sailed over, and a smart play there by Radke not to field that one.
Yeah, that one was about to hit the lifted up basketball net. And it looks like the Raiders, or the Zephyrs, one of the two, is taking their timeout now, and the Raiders have their 2 point lead.
So the Raiders sitting pretty here on this 60-second timeout. They just need 3 to win this one. And really, these two teams very evenly matched. You can really see why, even though it's early on in the year, why they're both essentially tied here in the Metro East.
Yeah, tied for second to last. They're not quite in the cellar yet, but you don't want to be one of these two teams walking away with already 3 losses in the season, 4 games in. And again, like we've been reiterating all night, everything's been delayed. So it throws you off, your natural rhythm as an athlete when you're usually preparing for the start of your season, and you know when that always is. But obviously the world doesn't always work that way, and that's why we are only in Game 4 of the high school volleyball across the state of Minnesota tonight.
Well, and in a very shortened season, the swing between going 1-3 and going 2-2 is massive, as we'll get another point here for Hastings. But this win early on is very critical here for Hastings.
Absolutely. 2 more points and they have the set here, Owen. We'll see what happens. If they can do it in 2 more plays or...
Yeah, we'll see what the Raiders have in store here. Radke with the serve. Propped up by Mosley. Over from McGraw. Denied. Kept in play. Pushed back. Noel sends it forward. That one was heading towards the back court. And a great push forward there, but the point's going to end up here with Mahtomedi.
Still got a 2-point lead, and it's a little more comforting when you're only 2 points away. But again, you still don't want to have that gap close even further if you're the Raiders right now.
Yeah, you got to figure momentum really matters here. You know, even though you're down by 2, you get 1, then it's only 1. We'll see how both of these teams will respond here to close out the second set. Now here on the far side, pushed over. A hit there from number 6. Unfortunately, we don't have a number 6 on the roster, but another point here for Mahtomedi, 23-22.
Number 6 for the Raiders or Zephyrs?
Zephyrs we do not have.
Well, it looks like Grace Hansen on the B squad right now, but nothing on their varsity.
Another serve here from Mahtomedi. Kept up in the backcourt. They'll have to send it over here, and the point already going to Mahtomedi.
Sorry.
Well, this is not good if you're a fan of the Raiders. Now we're tied here at 23.
Yeah, and it's hard to say what's going to be happening here soon enough.
I mean, that's got to be, you know, the toughest thing to try to fix something mentally, like momentum, where you're still only 2 away. It's still a 50-50 proposition statistically, but, you know, the momentum here certainly on the side of Mahtomedi.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see if the Raiders can recover from that momentum that the Zephyrs have gained, or if the Zephyrs are going to rush on that momentum and take the second set as well.
Good look there at the Metro East Conference, although I will say, as a graduate of Park High School, I really wish we had the old SEC conference, because there's no better matchup than Hastings and Park, and unfortunately they're not in the same conference anymore.
Well, that's how Burnsville, where my alma mater, is feeling with Bloomington Jefferson, I believe. But now we're rivals with Prior Lake, as it has been pretty much since I've been alive.
That one bounces out of bounds. A great defensive play there from number 6. And now Mahtomedi 1 point away from going up 2-0.
Yeah, if you're the Raiders here, you got to do everything you can to at least tie it and make it a toss-up for that final set.
Emily Short here on the potential set-winning serve. Propped up. 2-hand push. Kept alive by Mosley. Back to Dollar, sends it sky high. To Meyer. Pushed over from Nutton. Brueggemann back to the backcourt here of Hastings off of Chantel Lease. And off the antenna, and the points going here to Mahtomedi.
Unfortunate landing spot for the Raiders on that one, and Mahtomedi is now up 2-0 in the sets.
And that's unfortunate. Hastings fights back, loses set number 1, 25-3, loses the second set 25-3, blowing a 2-point lead. Well, I shouldn't say blowing, because a 2-point lead is obviously a very close game, but you know, a close game, but at the end of the day, it's a 2-0 lead for Mahtomedi.
Yeah, and in the second set, there was only really a 4-point gap as the largest gap between these two teams. And so, you know, they're playing close ball. And, you know, you have to appreciate that and nothing else if you're the Raiders, is you're keeping up with this. And although they fell short at the wrong time where they really wanted to walk away with a victory for that set, they're still playing close ball, and you have to appreciate that if you're a Raiders fan.
Absolutely. So with that, it's a 2-0 lead for Mahtomedi over Hastings here on HCTV Sports. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to HCTV Sports. As we get set for the continuation of this one, we'll get set for the start of set number 3. It's a 2-0 lead for Mahtomedi over Hastings. I'm Owen Healy here with my broadcast partner for the night, Theo Tollefson. And Theo, what a first 2 sets we saw here tonight, even if they didn't exactly go in the way of Hastings.
No, they definitely have been just a strong defense on both sides, and you know, it's been a close game for both sets. I mean, both ended with a 25-23 score, and of course the Zephyrs could walk away with a win here if they win this set. So we'll see what happens, but the Raiders are definitely going to at least try to make a comeback. Unfortunately, on that play right there, it's already 1-0 Zephyrs.
Yeah, nothing new here tonight. An early Mahtomedi lead after point number 1.
Yeah, walking away with the first point in each set has been the theme here for the Zephyrs.
And again, I mean, it's not impossible to come back from 2 sets down, but to win 3 sets in a row is certainly going to be challenging for Hastings, even though statistically they're really good in the last 3 as that one lands in bounds off of Gronquist.
Yeah, and if they can walk away with at least one set victory here tonight, that will definitely give them strong momentum going into future games.
We'll get a serve here from Dollar. A bump from Noel. Kept in bounds. Posted up from Beebe. And that one sails out of bounds. Point going here to Mahtomedi.
Just a bit to the right for the Raiders there on that play. But again, we've only been 3 sets here, and it's only 2-1. So the Raiders are still trying to keep it close.
Elbers with the serve. Dollar to Beebe. Sends it over. Dollar, one-handed smack there from Beebe.
Yeah, flying up in no man's land.
Great save from Frandrup over there in the back court, and that one just over the front court there of Mahtomedi.
Yeah, all 3 of the players for Mahtomedi just looking at the net and looking over and wondering if it was going to land right where they were, but it definitely didn't.
Could not have put that in a better spot.
Yeah, it looks like number 6 is coming in here. Again, we cannot confirm if this is Grace Hansen or not for Mahtomedi, but she is not in the game. Number 6, Grace Hansen, as we believe.
Another point here for Hastings off of a first bounce there for Mahtomedi.
This is the earliest lead they've had in a set all night. It's 3-2 Raiders, and we'll see if this is what's going to help them to, keep that momentum going as the set continues.
Lease with the serve, a diving save there from Noel, bounces off the net and out of bounds. Point going to Hastings regardless. Yeah, I suppose this is kind of a new wrinkle to Hastings' game, with this early lead. We know how they respond when they're down. We don't know how they respond when they're up.
Now it is
5-2
for the Raiders. And this is definitely giving them more momentum than they needed for a victory. And it looks like
we get the serve from Lease. There we had Peterson coming out of nowhere to get that one. That one kept up. Sent over from the Raiders. And that one's going to get sailed over. An expanding 6-2 lead here for Hastings.
Too strong of a hit there for Elizabeth Mosley on the Zephyrs. And now the Raiders have a 4-point lead.
The backcourt came crashing in there. It'll get sent over. Dollar to the front court. Denied and just past Dollar on the rebound.
Yes,
and it looks like number 6 is Maddie Noel.
Maddie Noel, got it.
Listed as number 13 on the JV roster. Get the response there from Dollar, sent back. A great save there from Lease. But the point going here to Mahtomedi.
Mahtomedi closing that gap. A gap that's usually been held on their side, but now they're facing how they've been holding the Raiders with a 6-4 lead for the Raiders right now.
And I'd like to thank all the listeners out there tuning into this game. There's never a friendlier bunch of people looking to help out with pronunciations and rosters than people tuning in.
Yes, and we do appreciate that. And again, we work with what we have, but it's you listeners, tuning in, leaving your comments politely, and just telling us when we're wrong, and we appreciate being corrected.
Yeah, absolutely. We don't ever want to get names wrong, and oftentimes rosters are not exactly 100% correct. It's the most frustrating part of the job, to be honest.
Yeah, especially as a broadcaster or a sports writer.
Dollar up to the front court. Frandrup with a hard spike. And
a little too much oomph on that one.
So the gap is closing a little bit in favor of Mahtomedi. Still a 2-point Hastings lead.
Yeah, and again, Hastings, it doesn't look like they're getting too comfortable with these small leads that they're having in this set. But again, it is giving them a lot more momentum and positive energy, it seems like, in these players than these first 2 sets were.
McGraw with the serve, propped up there by Lease. Dollar's going to have to send it over, back to Noel, into the front court. Eager Hastings players there, ready to deny it, but point going here to the Zephyrs.
Yeah, it looks like both Zephyr and Raider had the hands on the balls, and it was just hard to see, where it was going to end up.
So still a very competitive and close third set. We'll get the serve from Mahtomedi. That one sent back. Noel over in the near side corner for McGraw. Noel's going to send it over. A diving save there from Dollar to the far side there for Radke. Posted up from McGraw, and that one just bounces off the fist there of Megan Meyer.
Yeah, I don't know if that would have been the Zephyrs' point if Meyer didn't touch that ball there, but unfortunately, that was the outcome.
7-7 game. The serve from McGraw over to the near side corner for Chantel Lease. Slammed and stopped at the center line.
Comeback point for the Raiders there after the Zephyrs tied it. It's now 8-7 Raiders.
Now once again, we'll get a serve here from the senior Radke. Just a little bit too low on that one. Tie game.
And again, just like in the last set, there's only been a 4-point lead as the largest gap so far, but we'll see if that is going to change here. This is only 8-8.
Low serve, and that one just past the outstretched hand there of Chantel Lease on the far side.
Yeah, it looked like Lease read that ball a little wrong. Didn't know if she wanted to make a full attempt to try to save it, but it was a lot powerful on that serve there from the Zephyrs.
A lot of split-second decisions to be made here, and that one just pushed a little too far back from Lease.
Dollar made an attempt there just to try to keep it inbounds for the Raiders, but it was just going a little too far for her to catch up to.
So now I believe essentially a 4-point swing, because at one point recently it was a 2-point lead for Hastings, and that one's going to get sailed off of Courtney Dollar.
Right onto the logo here in the Raiders gym.
And we'll get a timeout called here on the court, I believe by Hastings. And again, probably an appropriate time to call a timeout given the swing here from Mahtomedi.
Absolutely. They just got 4 points straight in a row, and the Raiders were holding a 4-point comfortable lead earlier in the set, so they just want to figure out, how can we get back within this? Because like you said, the Raiders have a track of doing much better in the later sets of each game than they have in the first two. So they definitely want to figure something out to keep that momentum up.
.20 seconds to go here on the 60-second timeout.
Looks like the timeout might be cut short.
It's like people got dinner reservations or something.
I don't know about that. Not too many places are open.
Ah, fair enough. Maybe they're waiting to order from you off of DoorDash. And that
Hudson's my territory, not Hastings, man.
I mean, you're already in Hastings.
I know, but still got work to do when I get back.
Wow, fair enough. You're a busy guy.
I am indeed. Zephyrs getting another point there. It is now 12-8 Zephyrs over the Raiders. Mosley with the serve.
Kept up there from Dollar to the near side. Slammed and
just get it in for a point for the Raiders.
Yeah, that one's close.
It snaps I think that was a 5 to 6 point streak there for, no, 5-point streak there for the Zephyrs.
Yeah, exactly what Hastings needed. Of course, that's kind of been the problem all season, is allowing those long streaks. A long serve there, an awkward angle, and a point there off of the bounce from Mosley.
And the Raiders seem to be starting to streak of their own for points. Still keeping that gap tight.
Frandrup, left-handed serve. Diving in there is Noel. Noel batters it back. Tipped in there from Gronquist. A great move from the senior.
And now the Zephyrs only hold a 1-point lead here in the third set of the game. It's 12-11 Zephyrs over the Raiders.
Frandrup once again on the serve. That one rather low. Bounced off of Noel and bounces out of bounds. Tie ball game here.
Yeah, a lot of miscommunications on the defense there for the Zephyrs after these back-to-back serves from the Raiders.
Another serve from Frandrup. Bumped up from Mosley. And lands on the wrong side of the net for Mahtomedi.
That was definitely a hard one to read and end up and see where it was going to land for both sides, honestly. And, Raiders got lucky on that one to get an extra point to take a 13-12 lead over the Zephyrs.
Franjip over to Noel. Up from McGraw, slammed, and on the wrong side of the net, bounces off of Gronquist, and tied up once again here at 13.
Zephyrs are halfway to closing a victory here in the third set, but we'll see if the Raiders can put it up and stop their attempt to make a sweep in these 3 sets.
Short, a high trajectory. Bounce up there from BB, and once again the lead regained here from Hastings. Just kind of going back and forth here in the mid parts of this third set.
Yeah, and it definitely was the same way in this previous set that we saw, where, you know, the leads were very small if they were ever taken by either side. And now the Raiders are hoping to capitalize on the lead they've got right now and try to get a victory in one of these sets here tonight.
BB with the high serve. Once again, posted up there from Noel. And that one more or less denied by the net, but the Raiders were eagerly waiting for that one to cross the center line. It's kind of like the Twin Towers there with Lily Newton and Abby Axel, 2 of the taller players for Hastings. Pushed over, bounces off the net. Nice recovery there from Frandrip. And the point going here to the Zephyrs.
It looks like number 16 is coming out for and number 3 for Mahtomedi, bringing in Cameron Peterson once again for the Zephyrs, and Emma Berglund.
Berglund with the serve. Pushed forward here by the Raiders. Into the front court. Slammed over and bounces off of the fist there of Dollar.
Dollar had a good read on it, but not quick reaction time to at least keep it in bounds. And again, going towards the wall of where the Raiders logo here is in their gymnasium.
And that's an unenviable position. That's going to happen to Dollar, as we'll get another point here from Mahtomedi. You know, just by the nature of her being a very quick player, you know, for some players, they wouldn't even get a hand on that, not even have a chance to bring it in. But, you know, that's kind of the territory with Dollar.
Absolutely.
Low serve, kept up. Gronquist palms that one over to the opposite corner. Posted up from Gronquist. Shoved over. Good response there from Mosley. They'll have to get it over. Now Dollar. Gronquist with the chance to cross-court attack on that far side of Tenna. Now Dollar propping it up. Pushed over by Newton. And a great response there from the Raiders, tied here at 16 apiece.
Zephyrs' defense was kept a little too far apart there, and that was the perfect spot for the Raiders to land a point in for themselves and keep this game tied.
Courtney Dollar on the serve. Bit of a late scramble there from Mahtomedi defensively. Back over, a diving save, and that one just sent over a little too far. Still a nice play made there by Frandrup. The serve here from the Zephyrs. Crosses it, and bad angle taken there. And once again, Theo, it feels like it's on repetition here, but another tie game.
Yeah, and again, it's just getting a right read of the ball. And number 4, Ellie Hansen there from Mahtomedi just had it and hit it right where she shouldn't have it, at the net, and that gives the Raiders another tie ball game here.
Lease with a long serve. Over, and a great slam there by the front court. That was Veronica Radke.
Giving the Raiders back another lead here as we are closing towards the end of this third set.
Lisa's serve. Bumped there from Noel. And the point going to Hastings with the early whistle.
Yeah, a little too much on that one from Noel, and that ends up going out of bounds.
So Hastings just 6 points away from winning the third set. Sky high serve. A great tip there by Radke. That's 2 of the last 3 plays ending very positively for Radke as we'll get a timeout called on the court. 20-17 game here in favor of the home team.
Yeah, Mahtomedi calling that timeout, and I think that what the Raiders don't want to do is what they had last time. They had a 4-point lead. Looked like they could have walked away with the set, but then the Zephyrs were able to come back, tie it, and then come away with another set victory. So they definitely don't want to repeat that mistake twice tonight.
Yeah, absolutely, because a 3-point lead is significant with only 5 to go for Hastings, but it's, you know, certainly possible that Mahtomedi could come back from down this close, and you hope they learned from set number 2 on how to close out the final portions of a set.
Absolutely, and we'll see if that happens here as the timeouts are ending with only 20 seconds left.
So when we return to action here, we'll get the serve here from the senior Chantel Lease. See what adjustments are made here from both teams. Lease's jumping serve. Lands there, tipped out of bounds, and a point there for Mahtomedi following the timeout.
Yeah, it looks like we're starting to gain that momentum they were towards the end of the last set. Raiders hoping that doesn't happen again.
It's a good play there from Maddie Noel. That one fired forward from Axel and out of bounds, and just like that, the lead is shrinking here for Hastings.
That was a nice save attempt for at least keeping it landed from Dollar, but again, she put it too high up into the rafters and it landed just out of bounds.
Erin Noel on the serve. Now BB over the net, and we have a tie game here at 20 apiece.
Yeah, it looked like that went right at Emily Short, but the net was in between them, so then that ended up giving the tie ball game for the Zephyrs.
Another serve from Noel. Propped up from Lease to the near side. A great slam and point there from Abby Axel.
If nothing else, both of these teams have been able to keep these sets entertaining no matter what as they draw towards the end.
With Megan Meyer and Autumn McClintock checking into the game. I believe that's the first time we've seen her tonight.
I believe so too.
So the Raiders with a slim 1-point lead. Good serve, but a great save there by the front court of Mahtomedi. Dollar bumps it over. Kept up there from Berglund. And denied at the center line, pushed over. And an early whistle, but the point's going here to Hastings.
Give him another 2-point lead over the Zephyrs here with only 3 points to go to walk away with a victory in this set, but we will see if that will happen. The
junior Megan Meyer with the serve. Noel almost pushes that out of bounds. A slam across court, out of bounds. And a 23-20 lead here for Hastings as they look to close out the third set.
And this is the exact same score where they started in the second set with the lead. It looked like they could have walked away with the victory in that one, but it looks like the Zephyrs are going to get another timeout here.
So we get another timeout here on the court. Both teams will mull over their game plans. Interesting spot for both teams because it's very likely Hastings closes this out. But, you know, if I guess it's a slippery slope, but if Mahtomedi gets the first point, then, you know, they have the momentum to get the second point and the third point, and then, you know, we're tied. And, you know, we saw this happen in the second set.
Yeah, and I think the Raiders have definitely put that behind them as they try to close out the third set here tonight. But we will see what happens as Meyer gets another serve to start.
Return to action here. A left-handed serve from Meyer. Lands in the backcourt. A bump from Mosley to the far side. Pushed over. Good save by Dollar. Lands into the netting. Pushed up and just a couple of more inches, and that play would have continued.
And that's exactly what the Zephyrs wanted again, that extra point to close the gap on the Raiders' lead.
Another substitution here for Mahtomedi. Looks like McGraw and Brueggemann will check back into the game.
Switching out like they just did a few minutes ago.
McGraw's serve. Pushed up for Lease. And BB diving in there to the front court in front of that far antenna and sailed over, and Now we're essentially at the game point here in the third set for Hastings.
One more point, they finally get their first set victory of the evening, but again, Zephyrs putting up a good effort to.
Radke's serve fielded there by Maddie Noel. Radke to the far side, slammed in, kept up by Noel. And McGraw to the far side. Tough to field that one from Lease. Noel with a bump forward, pushed forward there by Maddie Noel. One-handed push, that one going backwards from McGraw. Slapped over and bounces off of the fist there of Megan Meyer.
Yeah, Zephyrs definitely not letting Raiders get any security of walking away with a victory here tonight, closing the gap to 2 points only.
Well, certainly nothing has came easy tonight for either team.
Absolutely not.
A serve here from the Zephyrs. Lease keeps it up. For Meyer, across.
That's in.
And that one's going to be the game point there for Hastings. A real close call there, but Hastings is going to win the third set here, 25-22.
And it looks like we're going to be going into set 4 here soon enough in the next few minutes.
And I mean, it's crazy to think that, you know, this could be a 3-0 win for Hastings or a 3-0 win for Mahtomedi, you know, with just a couple of plays going in different directions.
Absolutely. It could have been either or team tonight, and obviously Mahtomedi had the chance to do that here in the third set, but we will enter set number 4 here in a few minutes.
All right, with that, it's a 2-1 lead for Mahtomedi over Hastings here on HCTV Sports. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to HCTV Sports as we get set for the start of the fourth set. After 3, it was a 2-1 lead for the Mahtomedi Zephyrs over the Hastings Raiders. I'm Owen Ely here with my broadcast partner for the night, Theo Tollefson. Theo, that was a very eventful third set for Hastings, wouldn't you say?
It was, and like you said, they kept up the repetition of doing better in the later sets of the game and were able to get their first set victory for the evening. But again, Mahtomedi coming up on top here with the first point of the fourth set.
So we'll get back to another serve here from Elizabeth Mosley. Right-handed serve. Takes an awkward bounce off of the forearm there of Allison Gronquist. Another point for Mahtomedi.
And went right in the opposite direction where the Raiders needed it to go. And now Mosley's going to get another serve here.
Serve here from Mosley. Lands pretty hard off of Dollar. That one sky high. Pushed over from Frandrup. Great response. Now to the front court for Berglund. And 3 consecutive points to start the fourth set here for the Zephyrs.
Yeah, and that's definitely given them a strong momentum to walk away with victory here potentially tonight. But the Raiders are definitely going to have to start something here to prevent that.
Low serve and the save there from Gronquist out of bounds, and burgeoning lead here from Mahtomedi.
And that was a nice attempt again by Gronquist, but she hit it a little too far to the left there than they would have liked.
Fourth serve here from Mosley. Up for Dollar. Gronquist with the attack. Closing the gap there was Cameron Peterson to the far side. Couple of quick moves. Great job from Dollar to send it over to the backcourt here of Mahtomedi. And that one is going to land just out of bounds. First point of the fourth set here for the Hastings Raiders.
Yeah, Berglund just hit it a little too far. It was close to that edge of where you couldn't tell where it was inbounds, out of bounds, but a little too far there.
Dollar with the very low serve. Still lands on the correct side of the court. Tipped. Now posted up from Dollar. Over to BB, and that one sailed over. 5-1 lead here for Mahtomedi.
Yeah, again, another ball that just went a little too far over the line there for the Raiders this time. And unfortunate for them, but they will try to make sure that this lead by the Zephyrs doesn't grow by 4 points.
And obviously the Hastings Raiders need to win this one to keep the game going on, but the fifth set only goes to 15 points. So it wouldn't have to be a major rally in the fifth and final set for Hastings if they wanted to close this one out, as we'll get another point here for Mahtomedi.
Yeah, Mahtomedi hasn't seemed to have their momentum slow down from the start of this set. And they're trying to capitalize on that and walk away with another victory here tonight.
Noel with the serve, back to Dollar, into no man's land. Good slam there from Abby Axel. Propped up from Peterson. An attempt at a diving save there from Dollar, but the points keep coming in for the road team.
Yeah, just a little short on that save attempt there by Dollar. Took a nice slide, but again, it was just like right on the edge. It looked like of her knuckles to really keep the ball in the air.
Noel once again on the serve. Raiders have to get it over there. Denied. Pushed up. Posted up from Frandrup. And another point here for Mahtomedi. I believe that's 7 in a row. Or excuse me, not 7 in a row, but
it's 4, I believe. No, 3, just 3.
Either way, a big lead here for Mahtomedi.
And this is the biggest lead they've had since the first set when it was, I believe, 19-10. And now they are 9-1 lead over the Raiders. And the Raiders are going to call a timeout here to, just regroup themselves, figure out where they are going to go to at least stay in this game.
Yeah, again, I mean, they've really been like the comeback kids here, but this is a tall task being down by 8 so early.
Indeed it is.
I mean, the good thing is it's not like a 22-11 game where they only need 3 more points. There's still plenty of points to be played here in the fourth, but, man, 9-1 is a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah, I mean, it's giving the Zephyrs like a strong momentum just to walk away, but the Raiders have played some very close ball here tonight, and I think we're going to see that once they are done with their timeout here with 15 seconds left to go.
Absolutely, because in volleyball, momentum is such a real thing, and you can almost physically feel the momentum growing from Mahtomedi. So it just starts with that first play back, just stopping it, just getting a point.
Exactly.
So we'll return back to action here. Once again, we'll have a serve here from Aaron Noel. And another point for the Zephyrs there. It bounces off of Courtney Dollar.
Yeah, we've seen that a lot tonight from Dollar. Just, those nice attempts to try to keep the ball in the air from a slide, but falling just a little too short. And the ball ran all the way back to the other side of the other court.
So with 10-1 lead here for the Zephyrs, once again, another serve here from Noel. Up to the front court. Slammed by Axel, but a great defensive play there from Emily Short. Really the MVP of the game so far from Mahtomedi.
I would agree. Short has not been short tonight on just, keeping the ball over in Raiders territory and just landing those right spots.
No, that's an unfortunate last name. Probably the tallest player on the court for Mahtomedi, as we'll get another point for the Zephyrs.
And of course, I didn't have the best pun there, but hey, man, you got to try something every once in a while.
Well, I'll tell you what, I appreciate dad jokes on the broadcast.
Yeah, sometimes they're welcomed as long as they're used sparingly. Maybe like 1, maybe 2 per broadcast.
Well, never broadcast with Reagan Hooverman then. And that one bounces awkwardly off of Gronquist as it's a 13-1 lead.
You don't even have to broadcast with him to know he's going to say those.
Yeah, he's really something else.
I suppose you guys got another football game to call later this week.
Yep. Next week.
Next week. Okay.
Today's this Friday's a road game. Good response there from the Raiders. Pushed over, and the bleeding finally stops here for Hastings. A solid offensive play there by the Raiders.
Just tipped it right over the net to just get fumbles going for the Zephyrs to finally get their first point back. As now it is the largest lead for the Zephyrs all evening with a 13-2 lead over the Raiders.
We'll get a serve from Lease. And a bad bounce there from Mosley.
And right now, Mosley can afford a bad play right there for the Zephyrs. Again, the lead is only 10 points, but when you have that lead and you make a fumble like that as a player in volleyball, it's a lot better to have that happen when you have a gigantic lead like the Zephyrs do now than instead of when it is a close game.
No doubt, and we'll get 3 consecutive points here for Hastings as She was talking it over there with Jenna Elbers before the play began.
Yes.
Another serve here from Lease, and that one just sails a little bit over. 14-4 game here in set number 4.
That was just an inch off that top left corner from where we're sitting on the Zephyr side of the court. Depends on your point of view of how you want to put that, but almost made it in.
Well, it's so tough, too, because you're such a hero if you can get the ace in there, but if you miss it by just a little bit, it's so fine, as we'll get a point here for the Raiders.
Yeah, that one just hitting the net and giving the Raiders another point to at least bring the gap down to single digits instead of double.
Yeah, still a tall task ahead of the Raiders here to try to extend this one. We'll get the serve here from Megan Meyer. Sends it over, bumped up there from Brueggemann. Slam, takes an awkward bounce off the net. The point going here to Mahtomedi. Back to double digits.
15-10. Oh, sorry, no, 15-5. I think you saying double digits can have me saying 10.
I think they'd love if it was 15-10 right now.
Oh, absolutely, if you're a Raiders fan, but unfortunately this is the score. Yeah.
Frandrup sends it over. Early whistle. The point going here to Hastings.
Either way, they got another point in there, now 15-6. And it looks like we're going to have substitutions coming in for both the Raiders and the Zephyrs. Number 6, Maddie Noel, is coming in for Mahtomedi.
Well, it looks like the fans have responded. They say dad jokes are welcome.
Okay.
So I think Reagan Hooverman's going to do big things here at HCTV Sports.
Oh, he absolutely will, now that he knows they are met with approval of our listening audience.
And that was Lily Newton checking into the game as well for the Raiders on the play before.
Yeah, we did miss that earlier.
We'll get the serve in, pushed up from McGraw, and that one splits the difference there between Lease and Radke.
Yeah, lands right in between them, and it's hard to tell when it's like that. And communications, and it looks like Dollar's coming back in for the Raiders.
Really doesn't take too many plays off, does Dollar. 16-7 game here. We'll get the serve from short. And a whistle basically before the serve.
Whistle blown before the serve. Don't know why that happened.
You know what we need right now? Even though it's not directly applicable, we need the D3 rules expert, Jim Sturm, to explain some of these rules.
Well, he's the D3 rules expert of the NCAA. I don't know where he stands on the Minnesota State High School League in terms of experts.
Well, that's true, but I at least hope that some of his knowledge is transferable.
I think if he applied it, yes.
Man, I have so many D3 rules expert stories that I can't possibly share on the air.
Oh, yeah.
Response there from the Raiders.
Closing it down to 10. It is an 18-8 lead by the Zephyrs.
We'll have the senior Gronquist checking in for Lease. Still a 10-point lead for Mahtomedi. Solid
that
serve.
One in the rafters.
Yeah, that one bounced off of some of the basketball hoops up there. Still in play. Gronquist with the bump to the near side. Pushed over from Newton.
Yeah, again, to use that Tropicana Field comparison, that would definitely hit the catwalk there. Been a home run, but it looks like whistle blown. Another point for the Raiders, even after that large fumble there.
Frandrup on the serve. Fielded there from Mosley. Pushed. Takes an awkward bounce there on top of the netting. Gronquist with the cross-court attack.
Hitting it right where you wanted it. Right where they ain't. Good spec there by Gronquist.
We might be at the beginning portion of a comeback here for Hastings.
Yeah, I mean, it's an 8-point lead, and they were able to come back from an 8-point deficit in the first set. And it looks like after that play there by Maddie Noel, practically hitting one of the photos of a Raider up in the rafters. I'm sorry, on the catwalk here.
And you can tell she didn't want to touch that one because that one surely would have sailed over out of bounds.
Could have ended up on the second level here.
Frandrup to Noel to the far side, slammed in, and it might have been dead upon arrival, but either way it lands in front of a teammate.
Meyer had a good slide there, but it was hard to tell if they would have gotten it there.
There's a great shot of some of the seniors here for Hastings. We got Gronquist, Radke, Lease.
And it also looks like
we'll get the serve there from Mahtomedi and takes a tumble out of bounds.
and they have 5 points left to close this game out for another victory to bring them to 2-2 on the season. And it looks like number 2 is checking in for Mahtomedi. Again, no one listed as number 2 on the varsity squad. What we have here is listed on the B squad, Anna Carlson. So, listeners, if you have the correct information, if we're wrong, please let us know.
Another point here for Mahtomedi. Back to a double-digit lead.
4 points left to go for the Zephyrs on this serve.
The serve from Peterson, kept up from Frandrup. Solid shove, but that one sails off of the palms there of Lily Newton.
Just a little too far up the line for the Raiders, and it looks like they're going to take a timeout with only 3 points left to go for the Zephyrs.
Yeah, I mean, a timeout is certainly needed, but I fear it might be a little bit too much too late here.
Yeah, for the Raiders to actually make a comeback and secure a 5th set for this evening.
I mean, you're talking about a 14-2 run that would have to ensue at a minimum here for the Raiders to extend this to set number 5.
Yeah, and those are very, very hard to make.
So another 60-second timeout, looking like it's going to be run a little bit short, at least on Mahtomedi's side.
But yeah, they don't have much longer to go, so the Raiders are going to do everything they can to get some stroke of luck going and give them a win.
Well, I assume Coach Karenchin probably has a lot more to say to her team than Coach Hell for the Zephyrs, given the score here in the 4th set.
Absolutely, I wouldn't disagree with you there, Owen. And the serve.
Cameron Peterson on the serve, kept in play from Frandrup. Pushed over there from Autumn McClintock. Denied, still in play. Slammed over, probably should have sailed out of bounds there, but in play. Gronquist, another kill there for Gronquist, having such a great game here tonight, as that point was badly needed from Hastings.
Yes, the Raiders are definitely not going to go down without a fight here to have this 4th set close out. But again, it's hard to see if they will make a comeback with a 10-point deficit, and they have to continue that 14-2 run that we mentioned earlier.
So Kylie Lalick is number 2 for Mahtomedi.
All right.
Shout out to the listener who told us that. And another point here for Mahtomedi. Just need 2 more to close out this game.
Again, appreciate you listeners correcting us.
Elizabeth Mosley here on the serve. Awkward bounce off a dollar, kept in play. It was a valiant effort from Hastings.
Absolutely. There was a strong effort put there. Only 1 point left to go for the Zephyrs in this game.
So this could be the match point here potentially for Mahtomedi. We'll get the serve. Gronquist over the net. And the point going to Hastings.
Raiders at least taking away 1 more point. And it looks like we're having another player swap here. Number 14, Veronica Radke coming back in for the Raiders.
And they'll have to go here on a 12-point run. And they're going to serve it into the net. And just like that, it's going to be a victory here for the Mahtomedi Zephyrs as they'll win 3-1.
And that will bring the Zephyrs to 2-2 on the season and the Raiders to 1-3.
And again, that's you know, still a very hard-fought game from Hastings. You know, quite honestly, you know, not to you know, just put that out there flippantly, but it could have been a 3-0 lead or a win for Hastings. I mean, those first 3 sets were so close.
Yeah, the Zephyrs definitely had chances there where, I'm sorry, the Raiders had chances there to, you know, make a comeback, come away with a victory, and the Zephyrs had some stroke of luck going to keep that lead going for them. And that's the thing. Up until that last set there, it seemed like everything was close and it could have been anyone's game. But unfortunately for the Raiders, their momentum just ran out at the start of the 4th set, giving the Zephyrs the 3-1 victory tonight.
No doubt. So Mahtomedi wins set number 1, 25-3. Set number 2, 25-3. Hastings rebounds in set number 3 to win 25-22. And then Mahtomedi closes it out with a 25-13 win in set number 4. They'll win this one 3-1 as we'll look to send it home here. Great game. Shout out to all the fans for tuning in. We appreciate the support.
Absolutely.
So a special thanks to Hunter Pinky, Owen Ely, Theo Tollefson, and Chip Elmquist. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. This has been HCTV Sports.